Something strange is happening across the world. A 35-year-old businessman is secretly binge watching an anime at midnight. A college student is crying over a fictional swordsman's death. A group of grown adults who haven't watched cartoons since childhood are passionately debating whether Light Yagami is a hero or a villain. Meanwhile, Netflix is spending billions acquiring anime rights. Hollywood studios are desperately trying to adapt animated series into live action films, and somehow, every single one of those adaptations disappoints fans. Why? What is it about anime and animation that creates this level of obsession? Let's find out. Not long ago, admitting you watched anime felt embarrassing. It was seen as childish, weird, a niche interest for a small group of people. But look around today. Demon Slayer broke worldwide box office records, beating Hollywood blockbusters with a budget fraction of the size. Attack on Titan trended globally every single week, a new episode dropped. Jujutsu Kaisen became the most streamed anime in history within months of release, and Avatar: The Last Airbender, an American animated series, is consistently ranked among the greatest television shows ever made. Not greatest animated shows, greatest shows. Period. Something fundamental shifted. This wasn't just a trend, this was a cultural revolution. Here's exactly why it happened. The first reason: the stories hit differently. Most mainstream entertainment follows a formula. Hero faces obstacle, hero struggles, hero wins, everyone's happy, credits roll. Anime refuses that formula completely. Death Note opens with a bored genius finding a supernatural notebook. Simple enough, but within episodes, it transforms into one of the most complex psychological cat and mouse stories ever told, exploring justice, morality, and what happens when someone with good intentions gain absolute power. Naruto tells the story of a lonely, rejected child who everyone gave up on, and over hundreds of episodes, that child teaches the world something profound about perseverance, forgiveness, and what it truly means to never give up. Avatar: The Last Airbender builds an entire world with rich mythology, complex politics, and characters that grow and change in ways most live action shows never dare to attempt. These stories don't just entertain you, they challenge you, they teach you, they stay with you long after they end. And that kind of storytelling is genuinely rare. The second reason: you genuinely care about the characters. Here's something fascinating about psychology. When we watch animated characters, our brains process their simplified, exaggerated expressions more intensely than realistic faces. Animated characters are designed to communicate pure emotion. Every tear, every smile, every expression exists solely to make you feel something. There are no bad lighting days, no actor having an off performance, no camera angle that doesn't work. Every frame is intentional, every expression is crafted specifically to create an emotional response. This is why millions of people worldwide cried when Rengoku died in Demon Slayer. This is why people feel genuine anger at Light Yagami's choice in Death Note. This is why Naruto's loneliness resonates with people who have never felt lonely in their lives. This is why Arcane ended its first season. People who don't even watch animation were devastated. The characters feel more real than reality, and that connection is incredibly powerful. The third reason: animation has absolutely no limits. Live action cinema is restricted by physics, budgets, and human capability. Animation has none of those restrictions. Want a battle where two characters move faster than the human eye can track? Done. Want to visualize grief as a literal physical landscape? Done. Want to build an entirely new world with its own history, mythology, economic, and rules of physics? Done. The water breathing techniques in Demon Slayer, the death god realm in Death Note, the bending arts in Avatar, the domain expansions in Jujutsu Kaisen. None of these are possible in live action. None of them. This is why every live action anime adaptation disappoints fans. Because you simply cannot recreate in reality what animation can show you. Animation can show you things that exist nowhere else in entertainment. And once you have seen those things, ordinary storytelling starts to feel limiting. The fourth reason: anime grows with its audience. Think about this. The generation that grew up watching Naruto and Dragon Ball Z in the early 2000s is now in their late 20s and 30s, and the anime industry grew with them, creating darker, deeper, more complex stories for that exact same audience. Attack on Titan, Death Note, Jujutsu Kaisen, these aren't child shows. They are sophisticated narratives exploring war, morality, trauma, and the nature of evil. This isn't a coincidence. Anime understood something that Western entertainment sometimes forgets. Your audience gets older, your stories should too. And so the same person who watched simple battle anime as a child is now watching psychological complex shows with morally ambiguous characters, no easy answers, and endings that genuinely hurt. Anime didn't change its audience, it evolved with them. The fifth reason, you are never watching alone. Anime has created some of the most passionate, creative, dedicated communities on the internet. When a major plot twist drops on Attack on Titan or a shocking moment happens in Jujutsu Kaisen, within hours, Twitter trends worldwide. YouTube floods with reaction videos. Reddit has thousands of theory threads. Friends are texting each other at 2 a.m. about fictional characters. Watching anime isn't just watching a show, it's joining a global conversation. It's belonging to something larger than yourself. And in a world where genuine human connection feels increasingly rare, that sense of community and shared passion is more valuable than ever. Anime doesn't just give you a story, it gives you a tribe. So, why is the world obsessed with anime and animation? Because it offers something increasingly rare in modern entertainment. Stories that respect your intelligence, characters that earn your emotions, worlds that expand your imagination beyond what's physically possible, communities that make you feel like you belong, and content that grows with you from childhood to adulthood, never talking down, never simplifying, never underestimating its audience. Anime doesn't ask you to turn your brain off, it asks you to turn it fully on. And once you experience storytelling at that level, whether you are 15 or 50, going back to ordinary entertainment feels impossible. That is why the whole world is obsessed with anime. If this made you curious, hit subscribe. Every week on the Y channel, we explore fascinating questions just like this one. See you in the next one.